Hey everyone! Today I'm stepping in as your personal life coach for this explainer, and we are going to answer some of your absolute toughest life questions. But we aren't just using any ordinary run-of-the-mill advice. No way. We're going to tap into the proven, battle-tested wisdom of Admiral William H. McRaven, drawing straight from his intense, profoundly personal experiences in Navy SEAL training. So let's be brutally honest for a second here. Do you ever feel like life is just fundamentally unfair? Like you're this tiny boat being tossed around in a massive, dark ocean, and no matter how hard you paddle, chaos just takes over and everything feels completely out of your control. It is exhausting, right? And honestly, it's a completely universal part of the human experience. And what about your past baggage? Are those past failures weighing you down, holding you back from truly stepping up and not just surviving your day, but actually changing your world for the better? Well, today, we are going to tackle these exact struggles head on. We're going to adopt the incredible mindset and the daily discipline of elite special forces to forge your inner strength and personal courage. Okay, let's dive right into question number 1. How do I regain control when everything is falling apart? Picture this. When Admiral McRaven was a young cadet in basic SEAL training, the instructors, who, by the way, were these incredibly intimidating, hardened combat veterans, demanded absolute perfection in the most mundane, everyday things. His barracks were incredibly Spartan. We're talking literally just a steel frame and a simple mattress. But every single morning, the strict, uncompromising requirement was to perfectly make that bed. The corners had to be crisp, square, hospital folds. The covers had to be pulled incredibly tight. The extra blanket folded neatly at the foot, and the pillow centered perfectly. The instructors would actually bounce a quarter off the mattress to test it. And if it wasn't flawless, you were severely punished. Now you might be thinking, why a bed? Well, making your bed to perfection provides an immediate, tangible sense of pride. It proves your discipline first thing in the morning. By completing this one small, everyday exercise, you give yourself a rock-solid foundation of control to build your entire day upon. And this kind of discipline extends far beyond just the bed. If you want to train your willpower, apply this to other everyday tasks. Organize your workspace before you sit down. Lay out your clothes the night before. Wash your dish the exact moment you finish eating. Because think about it, if you can't do the little things right, you will never do the big things right. And on the days when you feel utterly defeated, you'll come home to a bed that you made, a workspace that you organized, giving you that silent, powerful encouragement that tomorrow will be better.
Moving right along to question 2, what do I do when life is unfair and I keep failing?
In SEAL training, if you failed to meet their exact standards, or honestly, sometimes just because an instructor felt like making an example out of you, you were sent to what they called the circus. And trust me, it wasn't fun. It was 2 hours of additional brutal calisthenics designed specifically to break you down. Sometimes the punishment was having to hit the surf. You'd run into the freezing ocean fully clothed and then roll around on the beach until you were covered head to toe in wet sand. They called it being a sugar cookie. And you had to stay in that miserable, chafing, freezing state for the rest of the day. The brilliant, albeit painful lesson here is that sometimes, even if your uniform is perfect and you did everything exactly right, you still fail. You still become a sugar cookie. The sugar cookie is actually a profound psychological tool because it teaches you that life is simply not a meritocracy. True leaders learn to maintain their inner courage even in deeply unfair situations. Admiral McRaven teaches us a vital lesson here. Do not complain about being a sugar cookie. Don't blame outside forces, and never ever feel pity for yourself. Instead, use those deeply unfair failures to strengthen your character. Let the sand chafe you. Let it make you tougher. Stand tall, look to the future, and just outwork everyone else. That inner strength in the face of sheer, unjust adversity is what actually builds the kind of resilience that can change the world. All right, on to question 3. Where do I find courage when facing huge risks? During a particularly challenging part of training, McRaven stood at the edge of a 30-foot tower. Beneath him stretched a thick nylon rope, angling down to the ground. Now, the safe, standard way down is to inch along underneath the rope, carefully and slowly. But McRaven, he wanted to beat the course record. And to do that, you have to let go of safety. You have to launch yourself on top of the rope and slide down headfirst. It's a terrifying drop. But to truly achieve your potential and not let fear dictate your life, you absolutely have to push your limits. McRaven made the visceral decision to throw himself down headfirst. And guess what? He beat the record. Daring greatly is the only way forward. If you live in fear of hardship or failure, you will never truly know what is possible. And this philosophy of daring greatly applies perfectly to our darkest, most primal fears, too. Seals are required to complete these terrifying night swims off the coast of San Clemente Island. The water is pitch black, the isolation is overwhelming, and worse, those waters are known breeding grounds for massive great white sharks. Yikes, right? How do you find the courage to jump into that dark water? Well, McRaven notes that having a noble, honorable goal gives you the inner courage to stand up to the bullies of the world, whether they're literal sharks or just people trying to tear you down. If you want to achieve your life's mission, you cannot show weakness. With a resolute heart, you can defy evil and simply refuse to back down from the dark.
Which brings us to question 4. How do I survive the darkest, most lonely times? In basic training, SEALs are broken into boat crews, 7 men to a small rubber boat, paddling through punishing, freezing waves for hours on end. Let me tell you, you simply cannot paddle that boat alone. You need reliable friends to share the heavy load. McRaven tells this amazing story about the Munchkin crew. This was a boat crew made up entirely of the shortest guys in the class, a Native American, an African American, a Polish American, a Greek American, an Italian American. None of them were over 5'5", but they outperformed every single other crew. Why? Because they compensated for their size with perfect synchronization and unwavering support for one another. Your success in life, your ability to overcome massive obstacles, heavily depends on the diverse team of good, reliable people you build around you. And when things get unbelievably dark, that support becomes your absolute lifeline. During Hell Week, McRaven's class found themselves neck-deep in the freezing, biting mud of the Tijuana Flats. It was Wednesday. They still had days to go. The wind was howling, and the instructors were literally offering them hot coffee and a warm fire if just 5 men would quit. People were shivering uncontrollably. The will to survive was breaking. And then, one single man took personal responsibility. He started singing. He was terribly out of tune, but he sang loudly and with overwhelming enthusiasm. Soon, another voice joined in, then another, and soon the entire class was singing. That one person taking responsibility generated a massive wave of hope. It proved that in our darkest moments, one individual has the power to lift everyone's spirits, inspire those around them, and provide the exact hope needed to survive the night. Okay, let's wrap this up with your personal action plan. It is time to take these lessons and actually change your world today. Here are 5 concrete daily habits to forge your willpower. Number 1, make your bed to absolute perfection every single morning. Number 2, embrace your unfair sugar cookie failures without a single complaint. Number 3, find reliable friends to help you paddle your boat through life's storms. Number 4, dare to slide headfirst into your most terrifying challenges. And number 5, give someone hope today, especially when you are both stuck deep in the mud of despair. In the center of the SEAL training compound hangs a shiny brass bell. It is always there, tempting you. All you have to do to make the pain stop, to escape the freezing water and the endless exhaustion, is walk up and ring that bell 3 times. That's it. You ring the bell and you quit. But the ultimate, non-negotiable rule for changing your life, no matter how unjust or hard things get, is this: you must never, ever ring the bell. You never quit. Which leaves us with one final, deeply provocative question for you. Are you ready to start changing the world by conquering your own morning? It all starts with you taking personal responsibility right now. So the absolute second this explainer ends, I challenge you. Go make your bed.